We're live.
We're live, yes.
Woo! How you doing, Ronald?
I'm great. And yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so very much for agreeing to do this broadcast. And welcome to Jennifer's Perspective. And for those of you who don't know who my special guest is, he is the awesome, the amazing, the fantastic Mr. Ronald Johnson. He is a professional business coach, certified Eli Master Practitioner. And Ronald says that to experience equanimity and well-being takes more than just changing one person's physical strength. It also takes understanding of how we feel within ourselves. And this awareness has led him to expand his life's work and to integrate life coaching and personal training into his life, and he is determined, absolutely determined, to help his clients live a more well-rounded life. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you again.
Oh
You
my
know what?
gosh.
And
Yes.
thank you. You didn't have to say amazing. I appreciate it. I'm just here to help. That's all. If I'm amazing, great. If I help people out, great. But I'm just here to help.
Let me
But
tell
thank
you
you.
something. You have to be amazing because amazing people help people.
Yes, I agree.
Amazing people help people. Amazing people make a difference. Amazing people do things that ordinary people won't do. I say amazing as honor because I know what it's like to to transition from corporate America into owning your own business. Can you tell me how was your transition? What did you do before becoming a life coach? And how is it going?
Well, thank you for better context. Amazing. So now I understand your definition. So thank you first for that clarifying. It's all about clarifying because interpretation perspective can be totally different. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
have this new word called paradigm blindness. So you always have to look it up because different
I'm
things.
blindness. I'm going to
Yes,
write
because
this down.
write it down because all of our life are designed by perspectives that are either
Mm-hmm.
subjective or objective. So objective.
Mm-hmm.
So look that word up because how I perceive amazing is
Mm-hmm.
different than how you perceive amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. We always misinterpret things. So thank you for clarifying the context. But so my transition to becoming a full-time life coach, I'm in transition right now, but my transition started about 7 years ago. And
Mm-hmm.
what I mean by that is that I had a full-time corporate job. I was, working in white shirt and tie, corporate America. I was supply chain manager for a company called Fry's Electronics, in which my job was for all 35 store locations were to order the LED monitors. We have LED monitors on our screen that hook up to our computers. So my job was to negotiate the cost, the retail, ad space, how much time I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
buy for a build. I was
Mm-hmm.
negotiating the specifications of products. So every customer trying to help qualify because trying to compete online. So that's what I did. I did
Mm-hmm.
that for like 14 years. But at least the last 2 or 3 years of my tenureship there, I came to a point where I hated going to work. Every
Mm-hmm.
Monday, the dreadful Monday, as I'm driving to work, I'm getting ready to make a U-turn into the driveway because I have to make a U-turn light and driving, make a right turn to the driveway. I get this overwhelming, how can I say this, anxiety. Like I felt like my stomach was in my throat. I was going to eventually throw up. But what happens
Mm-hmm.
is as I get closer to the door, my feet become heavier. As I walk up
Mm-hmm.
the stairs, I never took the elevator, my feet get heavier. As I make it to the top of something, I'm like, whew, okay, I made it. Okay, then I could take the next 15 feet to my desk, then sit down again, okay, log into my system, then check.
Anxiety.
Yeah, it was overwhelming because the fear is that you log into your system, you check your sales data. Because all I come cared about was sales.
Mm-hmm.
So I check my gross profit, check my sales data.
Mm-hmm.
And if I made the sales and I made the projection, oh,
Mm-hmm.
phew, I'm like, okay, give me a cup of coffee now. Okay. So if I did, and I'm sitting there like scratching my head, thinking, "Oh my goodness," and I can look in the system and see my other counterparts and see
Mm-hmm.
if no one made it, even better because they can't
Mm-hmm.
beat up. Beat up is a terminology used to put you on spotlight as far as the owners or the directors or manager ask you who, what, when, where, how you make the projection.
Mm-hmm.
And what started happening is that I started getting more and more frustrated with, do I want to work in corporate long term? I know I didn't want to stay there. So I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
Fry's at this point right now is even still around. I mean, they're pretty much going downhill. They're sinking Titanic. They're trying to
Mm-hmm.
hold on before the ship goes down. So anyways, so fast forward that, I started thinking to myself is what I'm going to do next. And I really started getting into personal training because I came from bodybuilding background, which I competed. So the idea about
Mm-hmm.
being a bodybuilder was to um, try to get the better body. So the idea is that if I start competing, if I get six pack abs, I'll get the chest, I'll get the arms, I'll get the body I've always dreamed about because I was that overweight fat child. So I started doing bodybuilding competitions. But when I got ready to take the leap from my corporate job to doing full-time personal training independently as my own business, I started doing it part-time. So it
Mm-hmm.
means your nights, your weekends, doing it part-time to see exactly do you like doing this? Because you don't want to take the leap on something you don't like doing or you can't sustain it. Plus, we all wish I can snap my fingers, quit my full-time job, meet them in personal training. I got clients at the wazoo, but I don't. So I started doing part-time on nights and weekends, and I started realizing over a period of time that my business was not growing because I was spending 9 to 5 at my full-time corporation. Then nights and weekends, I was doing training. But there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of clients that want to train me at 9 a.m., clients that want to train me at 10 a.m., noon, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Because in Bay Area, a lot of people work from home. A lot of people are entrepreneurs, so they have flexibility with their schedule. They don't have to sit at a desk.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what did it have to be? End of January, I had a client and I'll never forget his name because he had the same birthday as my dad, around the same age. And he says, "Bro, let me tell you something. Without taking risk, you never know success." That day, I sat in my car for 20 minutes. I texted my girlfriend at the time. I said, "Hey, get my letter of resignation ready." She sent it to me via email. I went back to my corporate job. I sat there, printed it out, looked at it. My director wasn't there at the time, and my manager was. I turned to my manager and I said, "Yeah, I'm going to quit February 17th, 2017." But as I got into training and started doing it more and more, I realized what was holding people back was a state of mind. And not just people, but my own.
The mindset.
The mindset. Myself business wasn't growing because I wasn't growing.
Mm-hmm.
See, the idea was I expect my business to grow. Oh, I'm here. It's going to grow automatically. No, I have to grow with the business. And that's why I started learning that, well, how can I transition my mindset and transition into help people out? Because the idea was most people come to me, let's say, give me an example, they want to lose 20 pounds, they want to get in better shape. Well, then they lose 20 pounds. What next? Or they end this fitness
Okay.
journey for 4 weeks, then they get frustrated because they haven't lost 20 pounds in 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Or they didn't realize how hard it would be. They think, okay, I hire a coach, I lose the weight. No, you hire a coach to tell you what to do, but you still have to do homework. So but then I started, I said to myself, okay, I'm at the state right now where I was really using social media because in personal training, I have to be on social media to get clients. Some people are on social media, some people are not. So I was on social media and I always would look at the videos. Well, this person does this, so I'll do that. Oh, this person does this, so I'll do that. I'm constantly changing my business avenue because whatever else someone is doing, thinking it'll give me exactly what I need, which was entitlement of more followers I have quantified to more success. Follows me
Mm-hmm.
on social media. So if I had 1 million followers on Instagram, they equate to more success, which it did not. I know
That
some
didn't
people right now
happen.
doesn't happen.
Right.
It's fundamental that way. So I hired myself a coach because I said, wait a minute here, Ron, you got some issues. I saw myself waking up every day
You
because I
did
had
the thing. You got your own personal coach to help you with the
Mhm.
business. Okay.
Well, at that point, not just with the business. See, the first thing I said, if I don't grow, my business will not grow. It was not
Mm-hmm.
so much learning how to run a business. It was so much the self-doubt, the criticism, the self-criticism, the self-confidence, the self-esteem. These are
Mm-hmm.
self-inflicted. Because
Mm-hmm.
like I said, my self-worth was tied to more followers I had on social media as Instagram, the more self-worth I would have, which is not true.
Ah, okay.
That's where it came to.
I
That's
understand. Okay.
because
I'm
in
listening.
business, in reality, in business, a lot of people, discount their rates or discount their services or their product because they don't lack the confidence to ask for a certain price.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to hire myself a coach. And from there, I went to school at IPEC, so I can learn, which I thought, learn how to be a life coach.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it was a great program. I would do it over again if I could. But what I didn't realize is that it's not so much just learning how to be a coach, but so much learning about yourself to be a coach. So if I can't help
Mm-hmm.
myself, I can help anybody else. So I
Okay.
did the program for 9 months and I passed and I got certified. I did the work. I continued to do the work. And that's what brings us to the point we are right now. So I'm transitioning from a trainer to becoming a full-time life coach. My objective is to become full-time. So that way I can help people that are in life. I can help people that are in life right now that are stuck and unfulfilled and it's affecting their relationships and all facets of life. So how to transition that? That's what I started doing now.
And how long have your company been in business?
RJ Level Up Life Coaching is my other company that's been in business for almost 2 years.
And what advice would you give? I say most people right now, it's a pandemic and people are trying to be creative and they're trying to find ways to either return to work or start something for themselves and open up their own business. You've been in business for two years now?
2 years, yes.
2 years. Now, what recommendation would you give a new person starting out, they just have their certification? What advice would you give them?
First advice I'll give someone like that is hire your own personal coach, a mentor coach,
Okay.
business coach. I highly recommend doing that. It'll save you a lot of money and a lot of things in life.
Mm-hmm. And regarding advertising, how did you market yourself? How did you promote your business and your company since you realized that your value wasn't on social media, that your value was in you and it wasn't regarding how many followers that you were getting, but that you were the value and you had to grow personally? How would you regarding marketing, how did you, solve that situation?
Well, it's not solved. It's an ongoing process. So I can't say
Okay.
specifically this works or Yelp works better than Google, works better than Yelp,
Ever
or
evolving, ever revolving,
ever
ever
involving.
revolving.
That's it. I
Okay.
will tell you this before I quit my full-time job, I'll go to now talk about RJ health and fitness personal training. So before I quit my full-time job, I spent up to 20 grand just in advertisement because I had no idea what I was doing. I was just, it's
20,000 and
up
just
to
advertising?
advertising because what I was doing was I was constantly on advertising on Facebook. I was constantly advertising on Google at the same time. Then you can go in there, you could change your cost per click. That means how much you're going to
Mhm.
spend for the day. So I started doing spending so I can rank higher because if you're not on the first page in Google, no one clicks on the second page. So I would change my budget from let's say $50 or $200 every single day, just trying to fluctuate. I'm trying to be ranked higher so I can get those clients. That's what I did.
Did
So
it get you any clients? Did it get you any clients? Did it rank you on the Google search engine? What was the result?
result was I spent a lot of money, and result was Facebook does not work. I'll be honest with you, it just doesn't work. I mean, granted, there are 3 billion people out there, but what you don't control is the
Mhm.
algorithm, right?
Okay.
If you open social media right now and say Facebook, in this moment, all you see is politics, and all you see is what you clicked on. So you don't get to see your advertisement. So it's kind of hard to understand that process because it's ongoing algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Google worked because people search a lot on search engines like Google or Safari, so that worked really well. It's very much more expensive. I also tried Yelp ads for reviews. That was good because most time right now, when people buy something, it's based upon a review. Go to Amazon, you want to buy a particular product, it could be a new frying pan. First thing you do is read reviews.
Mm-hmm.
I get the description, read the reviews. So I started doing more. So the purpose is that when I first started, you got to find out what it is. First is how much money do you want to make? Because if you know how much money you're going to make to at least pay your bills, right? Your rent, your
Mm-hmm.
mortgage, your utilities, your car note, or your insurance, then how you going to pay those bills? Because those are bills you have to have. You have to have a roof over your head. So figure out how much
Mm-hmm.
money you're going to make first before you think
Mm-hmm.
about any advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is, okay, what advertisement I can set up that is minimum cost. It doesn't cost anything to set up a LinkedIn page. It doesn't cost anything to set up a Facebook page. It doesn't cost anything to set up a Google My Business page. Those cost $0 to get started. Because remember, you're starting a business, unless you have 20 grand, 30 grand, 5 grand set aside, you're starting from ground zero trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
So first, identify how much money you're going to make. Second, identify what platform is free that you can promote yourself on.
Mm-hmm.
Third thing what you want to do too is, which is something you are in control of, is your contacts.
Mm-hmm.
So your contacts, because your contacts, who you can reach out to, who do they know, so that way it could branch out into a bigger worldwide connection versus, just trying to promote yourself. Because remember, you don't have no money, so that's zero. So
Mm-hmm.
having contacts in your email is free. They're already there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, mm-hmm. I'm
Now,
listening. I'm taking notes.
go ahead. After that, what you want to do next is now, what's the process? Who clients are you going to attract? What are you trying to
Mm-hmm.
sell? Are you selling mentor coaching? Are you selling women's only groups? Are you selling what are you selling and what are you trying to attract?
Mm-hmm.
And where can they be found? That will
Mm-hmm.
be probably the first 4 steps of achieving a much better and broader business is how much money you're going to make, what free platforms that you get subscribed to, your
Mm-hmm.
contact list,
Mm-hmm.
and who you help. That'll be the first thing.
Now, when you say start your business, because when I first started, I did a lot of pro bono because I was new and I just got my certification and I just opened my business, just got my LLC, and now I'm like, okay, now what do I do? And at the time I didn't have the experience for coaching, so I did a lot of pro bono work. How do you, but you can't do pro bono work forever. You
No.
understand? So can you tell me how do you have to be confident that this is a business, that you are running a business, and you have to be confident in your pricing and your services, that you're bringing them massive value. You're bringing them massive value, right? And you are helping them to level up and with their own personal growth. How do you get them? Because when you first start with your family and friends within that circle, how do you branch out from that small circle into this is a business? And in a business, you're dealing with all different types of people from every
Okay.
race, nationality, gender, ethnicity. How do you get to that point where, okay, I'm setting my prices, this is my fee, and this is my SOP, my standard operating procedure? How do you get to that point where, okay, then you're in this to help them, but you're also in this to make money, but you're bringing them great value? How do you deal with that?
Well, first is how to deal with this is it can go a lot of different directions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you view yourself makes indication how you can proceed forward. So if you view
Right.
yourself as a business, right now you sell LLC. When I started my first company, I saw a sole prop company, not an LLC.
Mm-hmm.
Because in LLC, you're in a higher tax bracket. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how it is in the other state, but in California, you have to pay a certain amount of money per year. And obviously, if you file for a CPA, you have to pay an additional amount of money. So how you view your business is you view it as a business, or it's just I'm gonna dabble in a little bit and I'm gonna see if it works out, or I'm just gonna do it part time. How much
You
really
have
are
to
you
be
investing?
all in. You have to be all in and vested in within yourself and your company and the business.
Because you understand you have a business. You
Mm-hmm.
just said right there, you have to be invested 100%. If you're just doing it part time, then you don't mind making part time money. You don't mind giving away free hours or free sessions or whatever you tend to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, if you go to Las Vegas right now to stay in the Caesar's Palace for the first time, do you say, "Hey, my name is Jennifer. I never stayed in Caesar's Palace. Let me get the penthouse suite on the 12th floor. Can I stay for free?" Yeah, where's your
They'd
credit
be,
card at?
they'd be like, "Lady, who are you again? And
Yeah.
why should we give you a comp room?"
Okay. And they're selling a product. They're not selling a
Uh-huh.
service.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're selling services, the first thing is know you have a business. And when I first started RJ Health and Fitness, I was all about pro bono. I was giving away my time like water. And at the end of the day, the people I was attracting didn't respect my business.
Ah,
They did because it's free.
okay.
When's the last time you
And they
valued
didn't
me?
respect your time, and your time is valuable.
Mhm. Well, it starts happening. You start attracting more of that. So if you get a client that's not respecting your business, then they get a friend that's not respecting your business. Then you get another person that's respecting your business. Because remember, you're selling a service. I'm changing lives. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
here selling an apple or selling an orange or selling Cheerios. Okay, I'm selling a business. I'm selling transformation of the mind. So that makes a
Mm-hmm.
big consideration to that. So
Mm-hmm.
how do you identify your business? It makes a big, big, huge value. So I do not give away. I call it free. I call it qualifying. So anytime I do a call with a client, it's a qualifying call if we can work together,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because
Okay.
what if we're not good fit and I take your money? We don't work well together. So why should I waste your time, my time?
Exactly. Okay, and what do you recommend just starting up regarding the LLC? Do you recommend a CPA? Do you recommend legal Zoom? Do you separate the business from the personal? What advice do you have for new and upcoming entrepreneurs?
Okay, let's break it down by ABC. I'll start with A. For A is you're a new business owner, you have zero money, you zero capital.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't start an LLC or S corp because you don't have the money for startup and maintain the taxes. Remember, your
So
brand's
the S
making the
corporation, is what is the difference between the LLC, the S corporation, and a sole proprietor?
big difference. So let's start with sole proprietorship and LLC. Sole proprietorship means that if someone wants to get injured, they can sue me personally. They can sue me as far as I can lose my house, I can lose, my car, I can lose my money bank account, whatever. You're not protected.
Mm-hmm.
LLC, a limited liability company, means that I'm protected. You cannot sue me for my personal assets. You can only sue the business. So if the business only has $5,000 in bank account, you only sue me for that. You're not suing me personally. So my personal assets are protected. That's the
Mm-hmm.
main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, each one also has a different tax bracket. LLC has a higher tax bracket than S Corp. And
Mm-hmm.
S Corp, that means so each tax bracket, LLC and S Corp, we're on that one now.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not making a certain amount of money, let's say above 200K a year or 300K a year, you don't want to go S Corp because now you're
Mm-hmm.
paying already 2 grand, at least in CPA fees, maybe a month or whatever you decide to do your business. Because remember,
Mm-hmm.
you can hire a CPA to either one, manage your expenses or your profit and loss monthly, or
Mm-hmm.
you can do it where you file your tax at the end. I'll go back to the very beginning. If you're starting out, you're
Mm-hmm.
fresh, you
Mm-hmm.
go to LegalZoom.com, you can set up a sole proprietorship, get started. Second thing you do, if you're good at spreadsheets, you open up a spreadsheet and start P&L. P&L says profit and loss. See where
Mm-hmm.
money's going. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to do a spreadsheet, you go to QuickBooks or Intuit and you have everything there. Okay. The reason I said set up a sole proprietorship is that way. When you set up a sole proprietorship, you then go to your financial institution like a Chase Bank, a Bank of America, and you set up a business account because now you want to separate your personal expenses versus your business expenses.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
while you're
this
out,
will help. And this will help during the tax season.
oh heck yeah. Okay, I'll give you an example. A person has a job right now, it's a W-2. They get
Mm-hmm.
taxed two ways. And I learned this from the Rich Dad Poor Dad book. They get taxed on the income and get taxed on anything they buy.
Mm-hmm.
When you have LLC, S Corp, or a sole prop, anything towards my business,
Mm-hmm.
it's called a tax deduction. So I don't get taxed twice. I only get taxed once, what's on the income, what I
Mm-hmm.
made. So if I need to
Mm-hmm.
go buy t-shirts for my business, or so for example, I got a t-shirt right here for my business, RJ Up Level Life Coaching. This is my
Mm-hmm.
t-shirt I purchased because I want to be the brand. So anywhere anybody sees me, they know this is my brand. That's something I do.
Mm-hmm.
But for a person starting fresh, you start the very basics. Don't worry about LLC or S corp unless you're worried about or in a business where your personal assets can be liable. For give you an example, if you're training and someone's liable getting injured, you're going to be concerned about your personal assets. So that's why you buy liability insurance. So
Mm-hmm.
people that don't want to go to LLC, what you do to protect yourself is you have liability insurance, which is for coaching and also for training. So that way
Mhm.
you're protected in an umbrella.
Okay. And now you recommend that for new business owners that they must get not health insurance, but liability insurance to
Yes,
protect them and their business.
correct.
Okay. Any other golden nuggets for us?
Of course, definitely. So as you progress to getting higher up, make more money, then you go to an LLC. I highly recommend hiring a CPA to manage because see the whole purpose of CPA is not just to do your taxes. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm not a tax person. I have no
Hmm.
idea the tax law. They're as thick as a Bible, if I've heard. Okay, I don't have time to read that. Okay, so the reason
Hmm.
why rich people get rich is they pay other people to tell them what to do. A, a rich
Exactly.
that's what they do.
They pay somebody who knows what to do and that has the information.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Don't go to the barbershop and get the CPA from no, go to a legitimate uh accounting institution,
Right.
financial institution to help you with your finances.
Yes, finances. Second thing as you move, because you don't want to. I call it the buddy old pal or I call it the hookup. I don't want to get to know a hookup. I want to go do my own research about this person, right? Check because they have a CPA number. You can actually check against that and see if they're actually legit.
Uh-huh.
So do all your research because remember you're trusting someone's knowledge in your hand. Well, so trusting
Mhm.
your business in their hand. So that's
Right.
what you do. So as you move up, hire a CPA. Have so much money because when you own a business, you
You
don't have
have to
time.
grow.
You have to go.
You
But
have
hold
to
on.
grow with the business. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say the major mistake a lot of some businesses owners make, and which I did, is that you get so caught up and trying to make money, you forget the back office stuff, the taxes, the P&L, where my money is going, where it's coming out of, what I got to, what I didn't cancel. Because a lot of times you can get all these subscriptions, a lot of different things, and you forget to
Hmm.
cancel them, they start recurring. Get yourself a personal credit card too, so you can manage your business expenses. Remember, it's a business. Do the proper
So you
steps.
recommend that you get a business credit card from the banking institution. Now, do
Yeah.
you recommend taking out a personal loan through your financial institution or through a money lender, or not a launderer, but a money lender? And let's say seed funding, or just if you're building it and you're starting with zero, like what do you recommend for people? That do you recommend that they take out a business loan with their personal bank, or
Well, no,
really?
but I don't know what you're doing. See, are you starting a new app? Are you opening a shop? What are you doing? So I'm gonna go back to, let's say, life coaching and training. I'll go back 'cause that's my experience. I go
Hmm.
back to that because I experienced that one hand. In the very beginning, I didn't try to get any loans because you have to pay that back.
Hmm.
You're not established.
Hmm.
So they may give you a loan, but interest rate would be very high. So I
Hmm.
ended up not doing that. I just say, okay, let me manage my profit and loss. Where's my money going, and how can I make sure I keep most of it in my pocket versus just keep spending, 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 trying to grow.
Hmm.
Seed funding is when you start getting to the LLCs, the S corps. You're about to launch your product
Hmm.
globally and obviously go public. If
Hmm.
that's what you're trying to do, then obviously you work towards that. But you got to start off at zero to get to seed funding.
Okay. And do you have any other nuggets for us? We have what, another 10 minutes?
I would say for those that want to start their business, the first thing you got to do is you got to look at your own personal value.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean is this: we walk around with a lot of confidence, saying, "Oh, I'm confident when I'm doing. I'm confident." But when someone see, I'll give you for example something. I like to give metaphors. I give examples because I'm a visual person. So I had a client of mine. He signed up. This is training, not life coaching. He signed up in 2016 when I was just getting started. I still had my full-time job. He brought, I think, 10 sessions. He wanted to come back around 2018, and by 2018, I quit my full-time job and was training full-time.
Mm-hmm.
So he came back to me and he wanted the original price. I said, "No, rates have increased. This is a new price." He says, "Well, I can afford that." Okay, no problem. So you got to learn how to say, Oh, you can't afford it? Not a problem, because you don't want to discount your value.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens? He eventually, after a couple messages over 6 months, he finally signs up. So now we catch up because we have a relationship established 2 years ago, 2016. Now I see him again in 2018. So something's
Mm-hmm.
changed about you, Ron. I said, what does it change? And he says, well, you're taking more confidence. So what I'm trying to say here is people sense the confidence in whatever you're doing. And because they sense the confidence level, they're clearly take advantage of you. They know when you're desperate for the sale. They know when you want to chase them down. And then you get
Mm-hmm.
so desperate, next thing you know, before you know, you discount your rates. Another example, because that's all about building your confidence. Another example I'll give you is that I'll never forget this. It was December of 2019, no, 2018, going until January 2019. Met a client, we go through the interview process, I qualify him, goals, and I was so desperate for the sale, I ended up discounting my rates 10%.
Oh, wow. Okay, then.
I was so desperate for the sale before I know it. Oh, yeah. So, any discount? Yeah, I'll give you 10% off. Oh, you will? He was going to sign it regardless of the discount or not. Then what
Okay.
happened, as we went through his sessions and completed his 20 sessions, he went the same price ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
No, I made the mistake of doing that. It's because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have confidence in what I was offering. Or maybe you just
Mm-hmm.
don't believe in it. You have to believe what you're offering in order to have confidence to actually charge a certain rate. So if you're doing coaching right now and your rate's $300, you've got to be confident to charge that rate.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not, people show up challenging that. And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
man, I'm charging too high. I need to discount my rates. Because I just gave
Mm-hmm.
an example earlier. Caesar's Palace is not giving their rooms at discount. They're not giving you free rooms. You're not going to your grocery store and buying Cheerios at a discount. Maybe they do 10 for 10 or something like that, but they don't discount that stuff. That's the price to pay for it.
And right now, I don't even think the hotel industry or the travel industry, I think at the beginning of the pandemic, their rates were discounted, but try to buy a plane ticket or book a hotel room right now, everything is back to normal and the rates have increased. Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. Now, when it comes to you say that uh what is what is an Eli Master Practitioner? Uh,
Okay. The ELI stands for Energy Leadership Index.
mhm.
So let me explain this very easy. I'll go more detail. I can go an hour explaining about it. Have you ever met someone in your life for the first time, and all of a sudden, something about that person, you didn't like them? We all experience people we meet. I just didn't like. We're all victims of that. Oh,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
being honest.
That's
Yeah,
being honest.
yeah,
So thank you.
yeah.
So what it means is that energetically, which is not something you tangibly put your hands on, is vibrations. All of us emit and repel certain vibrations. It's just like a radio station. If I want to listen to jazz and it's 97.5, I turn to 97.5 to receive the jazz station, right? If that is a
Hmm.
jazz station. So ELI allows me to see where clients' energy levels are, meaning are
Hmm.
there a negative perspective in life, their positive perspective in life, how do they operate under stress? Because all of us on normal circumstances, if we're at a beach in Hawaii, sun shining, we're operating at a certain energetic level. And we're back in our corporate office and we got stress at a deadline, we operate at a different energy level.
Hmm.
So I gave 2 examples of beach and corporate office. At each one has a different vibrational level. So I'm happy, I'm go lucky, I operate at this level of energy. And that's what the ELI tells me when I take the assessment. So when a client takes the assessment, and it also tells me under stress of a deadline, how do they operate? It also tells me how do they perceive life.
Does it really? It gives
Yes.
you their life perception?
Yes.
Okay, then. And on that note, I think this is something that I would recommend for anyone that is listening. Please connect with Mr. Ronald Johnson. Do you currently have any products or services that you would like to promote?
Of course. Well, I don't have any product, but I do services. So right now we're going through a lot of upheaval with the election approaching very soon. Pandemic numbers are, I hear I go to the gym this morning, let me tell you, and they have 6 TVs, so 10 TVs.
Mm-hmm.
One's going to be CNN, One's gonna be Fox News, and one's gonna be sports. So I try to figure out what treadmill I'm gonna work out at. That I don't have to look at
Mhm.
news because all you're seeing everybody's perspective about something. Fox talks about pandemic this, and CNN says this about the pandemic, and they're not working together. They don't see eye to eye. So
Mhm.
my point being is that we're going through a lot of stress right now. And
Mhm.
for those out there that are looking to transition, they're looking to better relationships, they're looking to change anything of their life, contact me because I've been there. And what I mean by been there, let me give you an example about myself. At 25, I filed for bankruptcy. So I've been bankrupt. I have two kids. I had two kids when I was 22. I'm 37 now. So do the math, you see how old my kids are. I've
Wow,
been
you look
married.
young.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I didn't think you were 37. Wow.
No, awesome. Thank you.
You're
I, I
welcome.
I've been married. I started two businesses. And with that experience allows me to help people. See, I come from a place of experience, not saying I know about something. Oh, I know about what it's like to be a business owner, but I don't own a business. I wouldn't trust somebody. It's like a person saying, I'm a doctor, but don't have a doctorate degree. No, you want to have a person that has a doctorate degree and experience to give me the services I want. So that's what I mean by that is that I'm here to help those that are trying to transition in life. They're stuck, unfulfilled. Also, what I do, and that's my one-on-one sessions. Okay, I also do a virtual seminar in which I host group and I talk about topics. I have a topic that's coming up this coming Saturday, the 24th of October, which is why you're stuck. So go
Why
ahead.
you're stuck?
Why are you stuck?
And who is your ideal client? And who do you work? What type of people do you work with? Men, women?
I'm not biased working with anybody. I work with everybody because everybody deserves a right to seek help when they're embarrassed. A lot of times you don't ask for help because you're embarrassed. So you seek help. You don't seek help. So it's like, it's like a person says, my back's been hurting. Why don't you go to the doctor? Oh, no, I don't want to go to the doctor. It's hurting bad. I think you should go to the doctor. They don't want to go to the doctor because they're afraid to seek help of a doctor. They were scared about bad news. So
Mhm.
that's why I do these things because I don't want people to feel embarrassed. All of us have the right to get help. They have the right to better themselves, and they have the right to live a better life through a choice. And
Mhm.
by having a virtual seminar or doing private one-on-one with me, it allows you ability to live that better life right now while you're still alive. Because old folks, as my dad would always say, son, when I get older, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get older, I'm gonna do that. He passed away and never did none of that. Now, he did wonderful things in his life, but while he's still alive, do the things that make you feel happy. And if you're not doing them, why not? If you're not doing them, then why not? What's stopping you? What's holding you back?
That
And
makes
that's
a
why,
lot of sense. That makes a
yeah,
lot of sense. Why, if you're unhappy, why stay in a situation and mentally, physically, emotionally, you're dying inside and you're not growing and you're not living to your full potential?
yeah, why not?
Now, with you mentioned that your dad, what life lessons did your dad teach you?
You know what? As a kid, you don't see life lessons up until you become an adult. You experience like look back, man, mom or dad, they're right. I should have listened 20 years ago. So that doesn't happen that way. So what ends up happening is that all the life lessons my dad's taught me are paying off dividends today because he taught me work ethic, taught me perseverance, he taught me to be determined, he taught me to be who you are.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I learned from him that I don't allow it to happen to me. And look at the description of a boat anchor. A boat anchor obviously can hold a ship at anchor at port or out in the sea, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you allow situations, specifically people in your life that are close to you, can be your friends, your family, relatives, husband, wife, whatever. If they're holding you back from progressing forward, that's what I call boat anchor. It's like this: the Marianas Trench is the deepest part in the world. It's like me tying a boat anchor to my waist, throw it over the side, and it sits me down to Marianas Trench. I can't swim to the top. Once you let go of that boat anchor, you can swim to the top and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned one thing from my dad is that my dad was a very loving, giving person, but people drove him crazy as far as they took everything out of him. They kept using him, asking for certain things, asking to do this, and he didn't have the fortitude to say no. So now, if things are not in line with my value system, do not resonate with me or not going the direction I want to go, I just simply say, doesn't work for me or no. Because remember, you're only one person. You can't always keep giving your energy out to different people because what's left for you at the end of the day? Probably nothing.
And you also have to set boundaries. You have to set boundaries. You have to have values, and you also have to have goals, dreams, and ambitions.
Yeah.
I would say that. Now, as a transformational life coach and a business coach, when someone gets stuck and they need help, what type of programs do you offer? Do you offer a 1-year program, 3 months, 6 months, 90 days? What type of program do you offer?
My program is usually about 3 to 4 months long, depending on what the client's needs are. It could be as simple as this: I just need help to start a business, and that may not take 4 months. It could be someone that's trying to quit their full-time job, and they've been stuck at that full-time job for 6, 7 years, and they're so scared. That fear and that being scared really does act like cement in your feet. You can't go nowhere. So wherever clients are, I meet them at their level, what they need.
Okay. And on that note, do you have any last advice for us?
Yes, please. For those that are stuck and unfulfilled, or you want to follow me for more tip, you can find me under Ron Johnson Life Coach on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. And for those that are uncertain if coaching is for them, no problem. No commitment here. Attend one of my virtual seminars. I have a seminar once a month. So next Saturday coming up is 24th, and I have a subject on why you're stuck. It's myself and one of my classmates, and she's a meditation expert. So she's discussing how to meditate before we go into actual something else. So that'll be awesome.
And do you recommend life coaches? I recommend people get a life coach and a mentor, someone that is 10 steps ahead of them, 25 steps ahead of them to where it is that they want to be so that they can level up and live to their fullest potential. I recommend a life coach. And I think that Ron Johnson is an amazing, and I will say that again, an amazing man. He's an amazing human being, and he's also an amazing business life coach and a professional Eli Master life coach. And I do thank you so very much. Thank you for being my very special guest. And we can connect with Ron Johnson, lifecoach.com. He's also on LinkedIn. And are you on Facebook and Twitter as well?
Yes, I am.
Okay, then. And on that note, have you currently written any books or anything yet?
Not yet. That's TBD, to be determined.
To be determined. Well, thank you so very much, Ronald, for being my very special guest. And thank you, Mr. Johnson, for taking part in Jennifer's Perspective. If you write a book or you come out with a video or a DVD, if you have a video or DVD, come back anytime and just let me know that, say, hey, Jen, I have a new video, I have a new webinar, and we'll help promote you. Okay?
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jennifer. And thank you for having me as a guest. I look forward to being a guest again. If you ever need, more perspective on a coach. One thing I want to say, which I didn't mention just a few seconds ago, was I also still have a coach. So I believe that in order to be better, let me hire someone that already been there so I can level up myself. And it never hurts to get help. It never hurts.
Okay. Listen, I have my own personal coach. I've had a business, my life coach. Now I have a business coach and a personal coach. And I think I need another coach in another area, but I'll get there.
You'll get there, right?
I'll get there. But thank you again. And it has been an honor and a pleasure. And I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And I'll send you a copy. Okay.
Oh yeah, I want it. I got to post on my social media too, of course.
Okay, Ronald. Thank you.
Thank you so
Have a
much and
good
take
day.
care. You too.
You too. Thank you.
All right, bye bye.
Bye bye.